Hi, my name is Janaea Wade, and this is my presentation on the multi-state outbreak of Salmonella enteritidis linked to bean sprouts. Okay, here's some background information. There was an outbreak of Salmonella enteritidis that affected around 115 people in 12 states. The age range affected were between 1 and 83, with the median age being 32 years old. The source of the outbreak was likely due to bean sprouts produced by Wonton Food Inc. in Brooklyn, New York. Common symptoms of salmonella include diarrhea, fever, and abdominal cramps. These symptoms usually last between 4 to 7 days, and an infection of salmonella is usually caused by eating raw or undercooked meat, poultry, and egg or egg products, or drinking unpasteurized milk. Okay, 2. Analyze current situation. Public health investigators use PulseNet, which is a system used to identify illnesses that are part of the outbreak. By using this system, public health investigators found clusters of illnesses in these 12 states: Montana, Ohio, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, as illustrated in this map down below. Okay, SWOT analysis. So the strengths is the use of PulseNet, fingerprinting in the investigations. In the outbreak of Salmonella enteritidis, fingerprinting showed two patterns of PFGE, or pulse field gel electrophoresis, that are rarely reported to the database, which narrowed down the scope of the investigation. The weakness is the investigation are the clusters of illnesses. There's many studies that have shown that clusters of illness does not always correlate to the outbreak. The opportunity is NARMS, or the National Antimicrobial Resistance Monitoring System. This system helps protect the public health by providing information about emerging bacterial resistance, ways in which resistance is spread, and how resistant infections differ from susceptible infections. And the mission statements from the CDC is to protect America from health, safety, and security threats, both foreign and in the U.S. And the FDA's mission statement is responsible for protecting the public health by ensuring the safety, efficacy, and security of human and veterinary drugs, biological products, and medical devices, and by ensuring the safety of our nation's food supply, cosmetics, and products that could emit radiation. 3. Prioritize issues. Source of the contaminated sprouts was Wonton Food Inc., and the hospitalization rates were 25% in infected persons. The rate of cases in the outbreak focus states were 8 in Connecticut, 4 in Maine, 6 Maryland, 36 Massachusetts, 1 in Montana, 6 New Hampshire, 22 New York, 3 Ohio, 18 Pennsylvania, 7 Rhode Island, 3 Vermont, and 1 in Virginia. Of the 115 infected people, 64% were female. Okay, analyze alternatives. So the solution in the case was using traceback investigation that connected Wonton Food Inc. to the source of the salmonella outbreak. So the state and local public health officials, as well as the FDA, had Wonton Food Inc. conducts cleaning and sanitization for salmonella, and also implement salmonella control measures. An alternative solution would be to shut down Wonton Food Inc. until their products tested totally negative for Salmonella enteritidis. And a theoretical perspective is to use the socio-ecological model to determine the multi-layer effects an outbreak has on a society. And recommendation. So my first recommendation is to use biocontrol phages to prevent salmonella. Bacteriophages are viruses that infect and replicate only in bacterial cells. Bacteriophages have already been proven an effective treatment in the prevention of decayed products and spread of bacterial diseases within the food industry. Second recommendation is the improvement of NARMS. Currently, the NARM system has a lack of sampling design, biases in the collection of isolates from animal samples, non-compliance of State Department Public Health with NARMS protocols, as well as many other shortcomings. With these problems, NARMS seem to overestimate resistance levels. Third recommendation is to either do quarterly or bi-quarterly check in high-risk facilities to curb the spread of salmonella. Right now, according to the FDA, all high-risk domestic facilities must be inspected within 5 years of enactment, or at least once every 3 years after that. And this is the action plan. So the first would be the FDA needs to mandate inspections for high-risk facilities more often, at least twice a year. And in the next year or two, the CDC should enforce protocols for the improvement norms by diversifying sampling design or practice non-bias in collection of isolates. Thirdly, the FDA and the CDC should start clinical trials regarding biocontrol for Salmonella enteritidis. And lastly, the FDA should mandate biocontrol products regarding Salmonella in high-risk facilities. So here are my opinions. I believe the public health investigators did a phenomenal job regarding the outbreak since the outbreak was very short lived, only a couple months. However, salmonella outbreaks are becoming more and more common in the food industry. I mean, you hear about it all the time in news or other media outlets. I think the FDA and CDC should think about the future of salmonella prevention. And I think the combination of PulseNet, NARMS, and biocontrol could be extremely successful. And here is my reference page. Thank you for listening.